Hello and welcome to this review of reflection and refraction. Reflection and refraction, two things that happen when light hits the boundary between two different materials. Now here's a diagram showing two rays A and B striking a plane mirror, which diagram below best represents the reflected rays. You're right, the correct answer here is 4. Try this. Look at the image on the left. Diffuse reflection takes place in what kind of surface? Okay, what kind of surfaces allow diffuse reflection? Well, how about specular or regular reflection? Regular reflection, specular reflection, what kind of surfaces allow regular or specular reflection? In this question, we have the angle between the incident ray and the reflected ray. There's an incident ray hitting plane mirror, and this incident ray is reflected from that same mirror. What is the angle of incidence? How about the angle of reflection? What is the angle of reflection? In this question, we're going to calculate the angle of refraction when a ray of light is incident on a glass surface. I'm going to first draw my boundary. This is the boundary, right, between one material and the other. I have air here, and I have glass here. The refractive index of air is 1. Refractive index of glass is 1.48. There is an imaginary line perpendicular to the interface, to the boundary, and that is called the normal. There is an angle of incidence measured with respect to the normal. In this case, we have 55 degrees. And there will be an angle of refraction, let's call it R, also measured from the normal. I'm going to set up Snell's law. Here we go. N1 sine of the incidence angle. This is equal to the product of N2, the sine of the angle of refraction. We call that R. Because I want R, I'm going to isolate the sine of R first. Sine of R is N1 divided by N2. It's that quotient multiplied by the sine of I. Okay, theta I. Theta I is the angle of incidence. If I substitute now, right, my N1 is 1, my N2 is 1.48. I work that out and I multiply by the sine of 55 degrees. Now, that is going to give me the sine of R. Okay, that's going to give me the sine of R. So give it a shot. What is the sine of R equal to? Now, to get R, I have to do the inverse sine of whatever answer I get here. As to go ahead, what is the angle of refraction R? All right, here we go. Check your work. Hopefully that's straightforward for everyone. Here is our next question. Read the question carefully. Draw a diagram. Write down the quantities that you know. The question is asking you to calculate the angle of refraction R. Now here's our solution. Now here's another question for us to try. Once again, draw a diagram. Write down the quantities that are given to you. You're being asked to find the angle of refraction here as well. Here is our solution. In this section of your review, you're going to read the 3 paragraphs that you see there on your screens, and you're going to answer a bunch of questions that follow. Here are the next 3 paragraphs for you to read. This concludes our review of reflection and refraction.